When you go out to buy a brand new iPhone, one of the first few choices you have to make is what screen protector you're going to get and what case you're going to be putting on your phone. A common problem over the last few years that I've seen all over the tech industry is the controversy behind Apple's cases, where a ton of people will sit and argue about how expensive they are, and they'll also talk about whether these cases are actually worth it or not. You know me, I am a complete iPhone fanatic. I am somebody who loves buying a ton of accessories for my iPhone, and iPhone cases are definitely a couple of accessories that I have. Now, while I do have different kinds of iPhone cases at my disposal, I always make sure that I have at least one or sometimes even two of Apple's cases on me, because I honestly believe that these cases, no matter what the industry tells you, no matter what people tell you, are some of the best. And let's be perfectly honest, there are cases that can cost way more than what Apple charges for their cases, and I do believe that these cases are some of the best that you can actually buy. So today I want to talk about the Apple Silicone case, which has been my go-to for the last maybe 6 or 7 years. Every other year, I pretty much went out this time, picked up the iPhone 15 and got myself two different Apple cases. One was the clear case that Apple actually makes, and the other was this amazing winter blue silicone case that Apple has in their lineup this year, which I think is one of the best colors, especially if you have the natural titanium iPhone. It is such a good pair. I'm absolutely in love with it. Now, there's a ton of different colors that you can get, which I've actually pulled up on the website right now for the silicone case for the iPhone 15s, the iPhone 15 Pro, as well as the iPhone 15 Pro Max. And honestly, I've used these silicone cases all the way back from the iPhone 6 almost, and I've never really had a problem with these. While I do have a ton of different cases on the market available to me for the iPhone 15 Pro, and I do think a clear case is a really good way to show off your new iPhone's color, and especially considering there are so many brands making such good quality clear cases, including Apple themselves, I do believe that the silicone case has its own place in the industry because of how minimal this case actually is. This is one of the finest looking cases that you can get on the market. It is super thin, and while it's not ultra protective, I think it's minimal enough to go into my pocket and be used as a daily case. Also, the color variants that you get on this do match perfectly with the iPhone. Like the winter blue is my favorite, but there's a clay color this year which looks absolutely phenomenal. And if you're somebody who has the natural titanium iPhone 15 Pro or Pro Max, the winter blue or the clay are going to be such fantastic pairs for your phone. It's not even funny. Apple's been pushing towards environmental sustainability, and taking into account sustainability, they decided not to sell any more leather products anywhere within their website or their stores, so they pulled the leather case and they've replaced it with something called fine woven. Now, fine woven definitely feels premium when you first pick it up, but it doesn't last very long, and that feeling dies pretty fast. Honestly, it's just not something for me, and actually stayed away from it. I did pick up the clear case, and I do believe Apple's clear case, just like its silicone case, is one of the most minimal that you can get on the market, but fine woven for me just didn't cut it. So according to me, if you want the most premium case that is available today from the Apple Store, I think this is the one that you're going to want to go for. Let's first jump in with the design of this case, which I think is what makes it truly stand out. It is clean, minimal, and extremely simple. The exterior is made out of silicone, as the name suggests, and on the inside you have a really nice soft microfiber lining that's going to pretty much prevent the insides of your phone from getting scratched every time you put your phone in as well as out of the case. On the sides, there's no design. It's completely flattened out. There's absolutely no coatings on this case, as well as no prints that you're going to find anywhere. It is simple to the T. What I absolutely love when it comes down to the design are the rubber buttons that Apple has on these. These are some of the most tactile feeling buttons that you can get on any case, and I think if you're a case manufacturer, this is definitely a reference guide. The buttons on the Apple Silicone case are just perfect to push. They're not soft, they're not mushy, they have really good feedback. From my experience, and I am somebody who's used this version, the silicone version of Apple cases, for a very long time, they do last really long. Silicone exterior of this case is super soft. It is completely clean feeling in the hand. Super nice. I love the texture on this. With respect to the design, the camera cutouts on this do basically have a little bit of a lip around the lenses on your phone, so they will provide a little bit of protection, especially if you keep your phone down flat, as well as the sides of the phone are slightly raised to create another lip around your screen to give it a little bit more protection. So yeah, it will protect your phone from daily use when you're picking it up, picking around with it, placing it down on tables, placing it down on different surfaces, keeping it on your desk. It will provide your screen as well as your camera lenses a little bit of protection. Considering this is Apple's own case and considering the iPhone is made by Apple, the brand new action button on this is perfectly integrated. The button is so good to push. It is so tactile. Unlike a lot of other manufacturers who pretty much just stuck with the original cutout that you've had on iPhone cases for the last so many years, similar to what you had for the Ringer switch. Yeah, no, Apple's case, the Silicone case, has the action button cover, which is something that I absolutely dig about this case. I think it's so good. The last part that you consider when you consider designs for an iPhone case now is MagSafe connectivity, and this is made by Apple, so obviously this does have MagSafe built into it. MagSafe connection on this is as strong as it gets. This is as per Apple standard, and yeah, I do use the Apple MagSafe battery pack. I also use the Peak Design mobile tripod. These are two MagSafe accessories that I use extremely often, and MagSafe on this has been absolutely amazing. I'm somebody who primarily charges using MagSafe charging, and I've never really had a problem. My battery packs don't fall off. I use a stand, which is the Anker 3-in-1 Cube, to charge my phone with this case on, and the magnets are as strong as you would expect them to be. So MagSafe on this is pretty good. Things first, when it comes out to durability, this case is extremely durable. I am somebody who throws my phone in my bag, I have it in my pocket, I use it to film, I put it on tripods, I mount it in different places to get different kinds of shots with this case over the years, and this case remains extremely durable, and that's something that I absolutely love about the Apple Silicone case. This will not scratch that much because it's silicone, as the name suggests, so you're not going to see too many scratch marks on it, and the buttons and the Apple logo at the back, as well as the overall feel and look of the case, will last you a decent amount of time. Now, when it comes down to protection, this is definitely not the most protective case in the market. It can take a drop, and I have dropped my phone in this case a couple of times, but it's definitely not crush resistant. It's definitely not going to give your phone like 6 feet of drop protection like any of the other cases that you can actually buy on the market. Now, that being said, while Apple doesn't certify it as drop protective, trust me, I have dropped my phone. I've dropped my 14, my 13, my 12, my 11, all my phones at least once with the silicone case in them over the years. Not really had too much of a problem. Don't throw this on a flight of stairs, and don't throw this on rocks or on a hard surface, and don't try and drop test this because your phone will break, because it's definitely not meant for that. It's good. It's going to give you daily protection, but nothing too rugged. Last but not the least, this is the question that everyone in the tech community and everyone who's got a new iPhone has been asking for a really long time. Do you think Apple's Silicone case is actually worth the price? In India, this costs something like 4,000 or 5,000 rupees. I'm not 100% sure, but I'll leave a link from Apple's website in the description. And abroad, it costs about 49 or 50 US dollars. And it is a pricey case, but that's pretty much the gist of every Apple product that you can buy on the market. And if you ask me, to be completely honest, it definitely is worth it because it screams premium. The build quality, the look, the durability, and the fact that this case lasts super long, yeah, definitely. It's definitely worth the price. Now, keep in mind, there are tons of cases that you can get on the market which cost a lot more than $50 and cost a lot more than 5,000 rupees on Amazon. So yeah, if you're somebody who's going out to buy a case this year, there are only two options that you should actually look at from the Apple store. One is the clear case that Apple actually makes, which is really nice. And if you want a case which has a little bit of color on it, gives you a little bit more than just the clear case, it is the Silicone case. It does feel extremely premium. It is definitely worth the price. A scratch resistant, everyday, good looking, good feeling premium case. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to keep it really, really snappy. I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace.